coming up. Homecoming weekend is almost here. How campus is being transformed.
And a severe weather threat to end your homecoming weekend. Find out what threats we can see coming up.
SNAP benefits will soon end due to the government shutdown. How this impacts people in Norman. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Clay Webster. We begin tonight with a potential for a weather-filled homecoming weekend. Rachel, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Bryn and Clay, we are looking at a severe weather threat for the end of your homecoming weekend. There's a lot of festivities going on starting tomorrow through Saturday. So something to keep in mind, right now we are at a marginal risk, so it's a 1 out of 5 risks. So coming up, we'll talk about those details, what exactly we can see with those risks. We've got some rain on the way, so hopefully we'll put a dent in the drought. And then finally, that game day forecast for you for homecoming day coming up.
Thanks, Rachel. We are in the middle of homecoming week, and OU Nightly reporter Abby Hollinsworth has more on what setup is looking like for weekend festivities. Abby.
Bryn, in my 4 years here at OU, I have never seen the South Oval this busy. Behind me, you can see the homecoming banner with the Campus Activities Council. They're in charge of homecoming preparation. And then behind that, you can see the stage being set up. That's by Showtime on the Soville. That's a university-wide program. That's where Dan and Shay will be performing tomorrow. The gates open at 5. The concert will start at 7, and students can walk around this roped off area, but not through it. It's all fenced off the center of the South Oval. Right by the field house, out of our view, SEC Nation is starting to prepare for their show tomorrow. And Campus Activities Council told me, regardless of the weather, the Raw Rally on Friday night at 10 p.m. will happen because it's inside at the McCaslin Field House. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Abby. Tonight's event is a pop culture trivia night at the Thurman J. White Forum at 6 p.m. and a benefit night at the Whataburger on Classen from 7 to 10 p.m.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, could run out of money if the government shutdown continues. Emma McAndrews is live at the OU Food Pantry with more. Emma.
Clay, it's day 22 of the government shutdown, and those who use SNAP benefits might have to shift gears, having to directly depend on food pantries and banks, just like the OU Food Pantry, for extra assistance. Now, I spoke to Representative Daniel Pay on what this shutdown would mean for those who depend on SNAP.
We're about to enter the holiday season very soon, and that's something that I'm personally concerned about, is that the longer this shutdown is prolonged, those individuals and families will have to make some very, very tough financial decisions to get on by. We can rely on our partners at food banks, in our faith community, in our nonprofit sector. That is not an ideal situation to be in, but we are where we are.
November 1st is when SNAP programs would end due to a lack of federal funding. Now, Pace says he's hoping to see an agreement of a government funding plan, quote, cooler heads early next week. Clay, Bryn, back to you.
Thanks, Emma. OU Nightly will be following this story and other effects of the government shutdown as they continue to develop.
President Trump taking steps to make the White House, quote, more beautiful than ever. Elle Gedman has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
The east wing of the White House is currently being demolished to make way for a new ballroom. President Donald Trump is behind this $200 million project, which is funded by him and other private donors. The 90,000 square foot ballroom is just one part of the effort to transform the White House buildings and grounds. A lethal strike landed on a boat of alleged drug traffickers in the Eastern Pacific on Tuesday. According to the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, the strike killed both people on board. This is the 8th known strike on alleged drug smuggling vehicles since the start of September. These strikes have resulted in the death of 34 people overall. And a California woman has been struck by a small plane that crashed during an attempted emergency landing. The crash took place at around 4 p.m. Tuesday on a soccer field in Long Beach. The pilot was removed from the aircraft where he and the woman were taken to the hospital. Both are stable tonight. The cause of this crash remains under investigation. ChatGPT just came out with their own web browser, Atlas. OpenAI released the desktop browser infused with the popular chatbot on Tuesday. Clay, Bryn.
Thanks, Elle. Fall semester is full of new experiences and relationships for college students. It's also referred to as the red zone, a time frame when most campus sexual assaults happen. OU Nightly's Abby Hollinsworth explains why this time of year is so critical and what resources are available to students.
Fall on campus means new faces, football, and Greek life celebrations. It's also what's called the red zone.
Is when most campus sexual assaults happen, and that's across the nation. That's not just OU.
From August to November, more than 50% of campus sexual assaults happen. That's according to data from RAINN and Inside Higher Ed. And on OU's campus, every category of sexual violence went up. OU has a program dedicated to helping survivors of sexual violence.
Our office runs OU Advocates, which is a 24/7, 365 helpline for anybody experiencing sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking, and/or harassment.
OU Advocates reminding, if you see something, say something.
If you see somebody potentially being isolated, maybe trying a way to pull them back into the friend group, make sure you don't leave anybody behind, make sure that you have a plan for the night, and ideally have somebody who is sober.
And Halloween falls in the middle of the red zone.
We've also started our new Halloween campaign for My Costumes, Not My Consent, and so you'll see those posters and yard signs all over campus as well.
If you feel like you've been harmed, the advocacy office is there for confidential support.
If you felt you were harmed, then that's what happened. So we are very strong about we're trauma-centered, we believe survivors, and we want to talk them, help them get the help they need to be on their healing journey.
Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Abby Hollinsworth.
While the red zone shows the peak, sexual violence can happen at any time. You can reach out to the Campus Counseling Center or call the National Sexual Assault Helpline at the number on your screen. All calls are free and confidential.
Find out how one group is helping farmers with mental health struggles.
And a traffic change is coming to a Norman intersection. Next.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
A former government database is relaunching under a nonprofit. Abigail Nickel has that and more in today's Earth Report.
Clay, a nonprofit relaunches a weather and climate disaster database that the Trump administration retired in May. The database tracks extreme weather disasters that cause billions of dollars in damage to property and other infrastructure. The new site shows that with $101 billion in losses, the first 6 months of 2025 have been the most expensive first 6 months of any year since 1980. And a South Dakota organization helps farmers speak up about farming stress.
I have a group of people that I talk to on a daily basis. That's probably about as good a medicine as you can get. A lot of people don't have that.
It was started by a local pastor and former farmer, Alan Blankenfeld, after he saw the stresses of the farming market and wanted to help farmers find community. And a crocodile is recovering after someone shot it and threw a spear that lodged into the reptile's head. This happened in the Florida Keys. An individual notified fish and wildlife officers about the injured crocodile over the weekend. The officers captured the wounded reptile on Monday and took it to Zoo Miami, where it is currently undergoing treatment. And the Oklahoma City Zoo is having their last full weekend of Haunt the Zoo this week. Families can bring their kids to trick or treat by purchasing a general admission ticket. Bryn, Clay.
And a heads up for anyone who drives regularly on Imhoff Road. A new four-way stop will soon be installed at the intersection of Imhoff and Walnut Road near Traditions West. The City of Norman says the installation is a result of city concerns for safety at the intersection. The city says they'll install stop ahead signs as well to temporarily include flags to help bring attention to the new signs. And a famous Texas Tech tradition may soon come to an end.
We have more on the athletic director's warning to students after the break.
And a cool down and some rain is on the way for your homecoming game. Find out what to expect when we come back.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. We are so glad to have you here on this Wednesday afternoon. Now, our temperatures have changed quite a bit earlier this week. We've gone from the mid-80s to some 90s a couple of weeks ago, and we finally got down to the lower 80s and some 70s here in Oklahoma. The good news is that trend's going to continue going into your homecoming weekend. The bad news is it's going to come with some rain, and it's going to come with some severe weather as well. Right now, lows for tonight, though, 52 degrees here in Norman, 55 in Oklahoma City, some 30s out in the Panhandle. They are 5 degrees off from being freezing out in the Panhandle, so it's starting to get cold. It's starting to feel like fall here in Oklahoma, and that is good news for the cold weather lovers such as myself. So going into Thursday, your highs for tomorrow, 72 degrees here in Norman, 82 in Oklahoma City, 79 out in Elk City. So it's definitely going to cool down. It's going to feel nice, and we're going to get some rain with that as well. So we're finally going to put a dent in that drought that we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks. But unfortunately, that does come with that severe weather risk. Right now, we're sitting at a 1 out of 5 here in Norman on our severe weather outlook. But with this, of course, around fall time, we kind of start to mirror spring a little bit. We get those warmer temperatures for just a little bit longer. We get these severe weather risks, and we get those allergies as well. So it'll feel like spring just a little bit for your homecoming game later on this weekend. But of course, we have a slight tornado risk with that severe weather risk later on this weekend. It is low, but it's not zero. So something to keep in mind, especially when you're going out tomorrow. We have that Dan and Shay concert, something to look at whenever you're out. Have a way to receive warnings more than 2. So hopefully if you're watching from home, you're having a weather radio. If you have your phone, you have a way to receive a warning with that. But then of course we have some wind risk with that as well. It'll be straight line winds with a line coming through. And then of course hail with that also. So something to keep in mind, be weather aware going out. We'll time this out for you right now, though. For Thursday night, we'll have those showers and those storms starting off in the Texas Panhandle. They'll start to make their trek east. And then here in Norman, we're expecting a lot of rain around concert time, so around 7 o'clock on Thursday. That'll move off, and then we'll get a broader, wide area of rain going into your Saturday or your Friday afternoon. For Friday afternoon, we're going to see some rain to the west. That'll again make its trek east, and then we'll see some more rain for Saturday morning. Something to keep in mind when you're out tailgating and getting ready for the homecoming game. This will move off again, and then we've got another round of rain for your Sunday morning. So overall, we'll have about 4 rounds of rain. There'll be some breaks in between, but we're going to be pretty saturated here in Norman for your homecoming weekend. Future precip, look at this. We're looking at about 1.5 inches here in Norman, 4 inches down in Ardmore. So we're going to get a lot of rain here in Oklahoma. This is good news. Something to keep in mind for your homecoming weekend. We'll finally put a dent in that drought, so that'll be great. For your Dan and Shay concert, again, we'll have those rain chances, 78 degrees for your high, so it'll feel like fall. It'll feel nice. Pack a rain jacket, though, if you're planning on going out. Look at this 7-day forecast, though. Look at those highs for the rest of the week, 60s. Finally, on the 7-day, I love the cold weather, so I'm so excited to see that fall weather here in Norman.
Me too. Well, it's good to know about the football weather because my entire family is coming up from Georgia. I'm going to have to pack them some OU ponchos or something.
Yeah, you can't bring an umbrella into the stadium, so something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah. Well, a tortilla presser became a topic of conversation with the return of John Mateer, but tortillas are always on the mind of Texas Tech students with their famous tortilla toss tradition. But that beloved activity may soon come to an end. After a crackdown by the Big 12, Tech will flatten its tortilla tossing tradition. At the Red Raiders game against Kansas, the school was penalized twice and fined $25,000 for fans throwing tortillas. Texas Tech's athletic director Kirby Hocutt says that operations staff will remind fans at the game to throw away their tortillas if they bring them. And if any fans are caught throwing them, their tickets for all sporting events will be suspended.
Well, Texas Tech may be done with the tortillas, but here at OU, I know people still love the tortilla presser.
Yeah, Brandon, in sports, we'll hear from John Mateer and the rest of OU's schedule because it will be a tough one.
Yeah, guys, and I'll update you on the first 2 games of the NBA season. Also, a Sooner legend will be honored this December and why the beers will be flowing in the Lloyd Noble Center next in sports.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Oh, right. Look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hello, I'm Dalton Davis, and it's time for sports. Against Texas, the Sooners couldn't score an offensive touchdown, but against the Gamecocks, they scored 3. This is the first time under Brent Venables that has been done in the SEC. Coming off that big win against South Carolina, Oklahoma has 5 ranked matchups left this season. In order to win, they, have to score touchdowns. This weekend, it's Ole Miss, and John Mateer knows this team doesn't have to pretend.
Yeah, just one day at a time. I mean, we have everything we need. We don't have to be anything that we're not, or I don't have to do too much. Isaiah, Deion, nobody has to do anything that we're not capable of. I think that's a super important thing, and just day to day, put in the work, get better every day.
Lucius Selman, the oldest of the 3 Selman brothers, should now be named Lucius Legend, as he has been announced a member of the SEC 2025 Football Legends class. Lucius played 3 seasons with the Sooners and finished his career tied for first in tackles and tackles for loss by a defensive lineman. Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA is back, and so is the OKC Thunder, as they picked up right where they left off. The Thunder celebrated their finals win with their ring ceremony. And let me tell you, those rings were rocks like Dwayne Johnson. The Thunder faced off against the Houston Rockets, and it was a nail-biter. As the first game of the season went to 2 overtimes, Alperen Sengun put up a 39-piece chicken nugget, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 35 points. SGA won the game for the Thunder 125-124, and to no surprise, it was at the free throw line. The second game of the night included 2 former Sooners, Buddy Hield on the Warriors and Austin Reeves on the Lakers. Why ask for a splash, bro, when you could have a splash buddy? Hield went for 50% from 3, hitting 5 out of 10. He was the leading 3-point shooter on his team. And since LeBron is out, that made Luka Doncic Batman and Austin Reeves Robin. And he delivered. Reeves dropped 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Golden State won the game 119-109, but both Sooners represented. Speaking of Sooner basketball, the SEC released its preseason poll and all SEC teams today. Oklahoma finished in 4th in the AP poll, and Reagan Beers earned a spot on the first team, while Peyton Verhulst was named to the second team last season. Beers averaged over 17 points and 9 rebounds, and Peyton averaged over 14 points and 4 rebounds. Clay, Bryn?
Thanks, Dalton. Coming up, how ChatGPT can help you with more than just your homework.
Learn about one woman who's paying off her mortgage thanks to artificial intelligence.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Megan Howarth at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office says one of their deputies is in stable condition after a weekend rollover crash on I-44. They say the cause of the crash is under investigation, but the deputy says he swerved to avoid a person in the road. Bryn, Clay, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Megan. And here we have a Michigan woman innocently asked ChatGPT for a list of lottery numbers, not knowing that what she got back would be her key to winning the September 6th Powerball drawing. When Tammy Carvey went to check her ticket, 4 of her numbers and the Powerball matched exactly.
That's right, Bryn. ChatGPT helped Tammy win $100,000. It looks like you don't need fortune cookies to find your lucky numbers anymore. That's a pretty unorthodox use of ChatGPT.
I mean, she might just be able to get herself a Dwayne Johnson-sized rock as well.
Or a 39-piece chicken nugget.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I might have to start using ChatGPT for more than just my assignments, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of chances, we have a chance for rain later on for your homecoming week. For your Dan and Shay concert tomorrow, again, we'll see some rain, 78 degrees for your high tomorrow. Now we do also have a severe weather risk, with that chance tomorrow. So something to keep in mind, like I said earlier, you want to have 2 ways to receive warnings. So you can receive a warning on your phone from the National Weather Service, but you can also sign up for Weather Call here at OU Nightly. It's only $12 a year. You will get a call from one of our OU Nightly meteorologists letting you know that there is a storm in the area that's either a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. So something to keep in mind and definitely something to use as you go into your homecoming week with those severe weather risks.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Clay Webster. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can